Hello, this is Trevor Lewis, and this is another video from the Voyager Middle School STEAM Lab. Today we're going to talk about how to make your games a little bit more interesting. I often provide my students with like a core game concept. So for example, we might talk about a game where you collect things and bring them to locations, or you just collect things, or you try to avoid a certain type of bad guy or some sort of obstacle character. But those dynamics, what I'm hoping my students are going to bring to that is a little bit of creativity. And when you're designing interesting games, sometimes it really helps to have in your back of your head, what's the story behind this character? What's their motivation? Because then if you have a backstory, even if you never express it to your players and you never express it to your users, then you have that to rely on. And so when you're about to make a creative decision, you know your character, and so you know what your character would do. So having that story in your head of like why the character is collecting these things is kind of helpful, even if it's kind of a silly story, right? So let's just look at a really simple example. So this is a very simple game. Let me hit the green flag here. So this cat can move around. I'm using the arrow keys here. So that might be going in my core concept. And as I move around in the world, things happen here. And if I touch certain things, maybe I'm figuring out how things work. And maybe I might be intrigued to say, okay, well, this blue might go with the blue. When I do that, I get a reward of sorts. So there's obviously a purpose to this game. I can kind of tell that even without any instructions. But there's no story. There's no why. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The way I move even doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So a better version of this same game that you learn the same coding skill for would explain this, would explain who is this character, what are they doing, what is this character's goal, and then it would help you push you further because maybe you get this working and then you can figure out how to do levels based on who the character is, based on an overall goal. Maybe you figure out a way to put in a fun background or better animations or those types of things. And that's all based on that, doing that little bit of work. So when you're coming up with an idea for a game, maybe take a minute, right click, put a comment in, put in your idea for who that character is and what their purpose is. And that might help your games be a little bit more fun for you to make and for other people to play.